Hello guys, JCC2224 here, and I get this question a lot. Where do I get my figures? Where do I get all of these figures? Do I get them from stores? Do I get them online? Where do I get them? It's a question I get a lot in the comments. Some people just asking, where did you get this? Where can I get it? It's something where oftentimes where I got it won't really help you, because say, oh, I got this Commander Blitz figure in the battle pack at this one place called Tuesday Morning years and years ago. Going there won't help you at all, and you knowing that won't help you at all, stuff like that. However, there are general places that I've gotten my figures from that are good to know. And I feel like I could share with you guys where I get my stuff, how I get it, so you know how to get a good deal. It's something where there's a lot of places you can find stuff cheap, other places you just got to keep hunting and looking, and sometimes you just stumble across stuff, you know? Uh, so some things just land in your lap. It's a perfect situation where you just end up with it. So, one question that I get a lot is pertaining to my clone trooper army. Where'd you get all these clones? I want to get clones. Where'd you get them all? My clone troopers I acquired over 10 years. That's a very weird sentence. But yes, over 10 years, I acquired clones and clones and clones from everywhere. It's something where I would say some of the best places I got clone troopers would be online forums. I got a lot of my clone troopers, especially some rare ones, on online forums for pretty good prices. I've gotten some from friends who were unloading their collection and wanted to, let me have first dibs with their clones. Some, it was just, I bought them in a store. I bought them in a grocery store. I bought them in a flea market, at an antique mall. I get clones everywhere. And I think some people think that they see my clone trooper army and they think I got it from one holy grand place. Now, there is one holy grand place you can go and get clones. You may or may not find good prices on them, but eBay. eBay is a pretty damn good place to shop. I'm looking at all these figures here, and I'm not really seeing any that I actually got from eBay. I know the Zuko figure from Avatar The Last Airbender over there was bought on eBay, but I didn't buy it from eBay. You can find a lot of good stuff on eBay, and you can find a lot of good stuff for a lot of good prices. One place you see figures for good prices is China. China is a place it's kinda iffy with what you're buying. Going over to this Zuko, once again, my brother got it for me as a belated Christmas present. Thank you, brother. And he got it from China. And it's a place where there's a few different kinds of figures you could get from China. You could get a knockoff, you could get an overrun, or in the case of the Zuko, it's a perfectly legitimate figure just from China. It was probably something they found in a warehouse and they were just selling on eBay. That happens a lot. So if you want to get a figure from China, just do some research. Like, hey, is this a knockoff? Something like that. Oftentimes with figures, it'll kind of skirt from listing or naming the company that made it if it is a knockoff, because, well, the company didn't make it. Other things, too, with eBay. A lot of people, when they're looking for something, say they're looking for the Clone Trooper pilot from the Republic Shuttle. They're going to look up Hasbro Star Wars The Clone Wars Republic Shuttle Clone Pilot action figure. No, don't do that. I just looked up Clone Wars pilot. I looked that up, and I found a pretty good listing for a Clone Wars Clone Trooper pilot for my evolution video, for my every clone video ever, for the clone pilots. I bought it, but I got the wrong figure. That kind of sucks. That happens on eBay sometimes. So that's where eBay really isn't a super reliable place to get stuff. I think that's a reason why people are very skeptical when I give them the answer of go on eBay? eBay? Question mark? Because eBay isn't really that trustworthy all the time. Now, granted, sometimes I buy things from eBay and they come out perfectly fine. Like, I got a lot of 5 Avatar The Last Airbender figures today from eBay, from China, actually, and all the figures are perfectly fine. They smelled funky, but they were fine. It's something where eBay is the ultimate place to get figures. However, the thing that I really like stressing is online forums. Online forums, Facebook groups, if you have any local flea markets or antique malls or car boot sales, those places are great places to get figures. Local toy shows, I don't know if I found him exactly at a toy show, but I know I found the other Mortal Kombat ninjas at a toy show. Yeah, I would say go to those places. If you're looking for clones, check out online forums. See if people are just selling loads of clones. Rebel rebelscum.com. It's a pretty good place to find stuff to buy. I'm not really sure if it's a good place to actually communicate and have a community, because a lot of people on Rebel Scum are kind of, yeah. Forums, depending on the forum, it'll either be like a good community or a bad community when it comes to actual people and discussion, but sometimes you find really good stuff for sale there. If you want to buy stuff on a forum, I would recommend linking them to some sort of feedback, or, eBay feedback, Amazon feedback, just to show that you're a reliable buyer, because a lot of people are not trustworthy on forums. So, yeah, I would say forums are a pretty good place to buy things. I know I got a lot of my clones on forums. Also, antique malls and flea markets. If you're driving with your family and your mom or your grandma just loves going into antique malls and flea markets, don't say no. Because going to flea markets and antique malls, I found a lot of good stuff. Oftentimes there's a toy vendor or just a place with tons of figures and bags, and I've found really, really good stuff at places like that. I believe I found this Skeletor at a flea market for like dirt cheap, like $1 or $2. Really do enjoy that figure. Also found him at a flea market. Just, yeah, you find a lot of things at flea markets. I think I also found him at a flea market. Jeez, I found a lot of things at flea markets. It's something where, yeah, those are pretty good places to look. However, sometimes with Star Wars figures, it's hit and miss. And sometimes with flea markets, you see vendors trying to sell brand new products for crazy prices. I know that happens sometimes. One other place I really, really want to mention is Amazon.com. A couple figures on here I did get from Amazon, primarily this Char's Zaku 2, as well as this Commander Cody. The Commander Cody, the listing came up and it didn't even have a picture yet, and it was $16, and I picked up 2 Commander Codys when that happened. Amazon is a really good place to stock, because I was stalking the listing for the Char's Zaku 2 for a long, long time, because it was originally $45, and I didn't want to pay $45 for it, and for some reason the price just dropped to $25, and I just snagged that up. There's a lot of good deals for more recent items on Amazon. However, some older items, I would say eBay is a better place to go, because Amazon, you go there and you want to look up an older item and it's a crazy price. I don't understand what's going on with Amazon sellers and their prices. It's just crazy. Retail stores are, of course, something worth mentioning. Target is probably one of my favorite retail stores, even though they do struggle with their stocks sometimes. Like right now, all my Targets are barren. Walmart is pretty good, even though they don't really have any sales or deals going on. But typically, Walmart has a fair selection. Toys R Us, I would say, is one of the worst retailers to go to right now. Unless you collect NECA figures, Toys R Us really has nothing for you. Depending on what you want to get, what you want to buy, you can get things from anywhere and everywhere. That's the ultimate answer to the question, where do you get your toys? Anywhere and everywhere. And one place I do want to mention before I end this video is the Earth Collectible Toy Mall. It was my absolute favorite store when I was a kid. I walked in there and I found some of the best figures ever. A lot of these figures are inspired by things I saw at the Earth Collectible Toy Mall. Say, this Mr. Freeze. I always wanted this animated series Mr. Freeze. I always loved their G.I. Joe selections. It's something where I loved that store. It had everything, and then it just closed. It closed because the location was bad for crime and people were stealing stuff and they weren't making enough money. So they just closed it. And if you ever buy doll stands and figure stands and cases from the Collecting Warehouse, that is their new company. So yeah, technically I've been to the Collecting Warehouse. It's something else. I get figures from a lot of places, and a lot of places do mean a lot to me. Like some figures I've gotten from friends. This Raphael I actually got at a very odd place. Someone who was working at the same place as my brother was unloading some of his childhood toys, and he offered that Raphael and the Michelangelo and Donatello to me for a really good price, and I took it up on him. Some of these, like this Henry Jones Sr., I got from a really good friend of mine. I've gotten so many figures from so many different places for so many different reasons. Some mean more to me than others, and it's something where, just look. Just toy hunt. Just look online. Just scour the internet for what you want. I'm sure you'll find a good deal eventually. It's something where wherever you look, you might find something. Well, anyways, guys, I want to end this video here. I'd say about 10 minutes is enough. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Check out my Facebook and Instagram page if you have a chance. Have a good day, guys, and as always, may the Force be with you. Bye.